This right here is an actual powerful argument that I'm going to raise about the relationship situation between people of value, meaning money, and individuals of the opposite gender that they may come in contact with. This is a great football player that played for two major powerful teams, Miami Hurricanes and the Dallas Cowboys. Injured his neck and his career was cut short after playing many, many years of football. Got two Super Bowl championships in the 90s. Name is Michael Irvin. Since that time, the the Dallas Cowboys are still named as America's team even today, even after since they haven't had a championship since '93. That was the year I graduated from high school. I might add, we're in 2023. 93, 2023. 93, 2023. I'm 49. Okay. The situation here is about a defamation suit that's being filed because Mr. Irvin was fired from his station, which was called the NFL Network, at the peak of NFL. I mean, we're talking NFL has grown in leaps and bounds, definitely since the scandals of Colin Kaepernick, which I'm proud of, scandal and how it destroyed his career, the price he paid, the Donald Trumps and the hatred and the scandal of his presidency against the NFL, due to the murders of black men around the country by police officers and the disdain by the president of the United States. And no president in the history of America has been that rude and that nasty. And the fact is, if that ever happens again, that guy's probably going to be assassinated because just the way he operated was beyond what we would say our worst presidents in our past have been. People would say Nixon, people would say Reagan, people would say uh, Carter, people will say Bush one, Bush two, but there was still a sense of decorum. Not with Trump. And we're now in 2023, getting ready to go into 2024. And why I'm bringing that up is because this is going to be a huge fact in the European women interacting with the small population of 6% of us African American men, and then the even smaller of that small population, and that is the athlete, this man right here. So in the history of the science, when we study sociology, psychology, science, and this is all done by and kept by PhDs, the Census Bureau states that we are approximately, at this moment in time, in the gender wars, male and female, not including all this BS crap about mixed gender and transgender and all kind of stupid gender. I'm a Christian. I stand on the word of God. So when you come in here and this man, I'm telling you all that is demonic, it's satanic. I don't care what PhD says because guess what? Anybody can get a PhD. I'm getting a PhD. And the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter. As long as you write a dissertation and someone defends it, you can be a PhD. Doesn't mean you know everything. No, we don't know everything. Doesn't mean I'm all right. No, it doesn't mean I'm right. But we all, if they're going to stand on what they're going to stand on, I'm going to stand on what I'm going to stand on. So we're going to see a actual video that is being sent by someone who just posted it. It's called Michael Irvin's releases hotel surveillance video in a what's called a defamation lawsuit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I put past the commercials, pause, and let you see the video footage of the issue without sitting back and spending time talking about what another man feels. I'm gonna give you my opinion. What I'm here to tell you is I believe this will be issues that will happen, issues. And because this is only video, meaning there's no audio, because in all CCTV, you can't really pay as a Cisco voice engineer. Companies are not going to pay for video and audio surveillance, meaning the amount of data and the amount of memory you have to store in the data in the world cloud and the servers for audio and video is tremendous. Just the video, color video, this video right here, not black and white, but semi-color, is going to probably run at least per 10 minutes. Let's see, 1 gigabyte Normally, they say it's about an hour of footage. I would say 30 minutes is a gigabyte now. Back in the day, when we did MP4s, we would say a gigabyte would be an hour of cam, but not anymore. Why? We've gone from 240p or pixel to 480 pixel, 720 pixel, 1080 pixel, 1440 pixel. Now we're going to be going to 2000 4K pixel, 8K pixel, 10K pixel, 12K. This is all coming. So, of course, for these surveillance cameras that are around our homes and businesses, they're going to be low quality. And so that's why you don't get a lot. But because of the lighting and this outstanding Marriott, they have the video. Now, what ends up happening, we're going to see the man be approached by this woman who is working for the company. We still don't know who she is. Her name is John Doe at this moment because the Marriott's keeping her under wraps. But she's obviously an employee. What's interesting is the girl is kind of in his face, and oh wow, you know, he was part of it. In his face, and oh wow. In his face. And what's interesting is the fact that based on right now this pause, where this guy paused it, one man is taller, the girl is shorter, obviously. Slim, very petite, 5'1", maybe 5'4", 6 foot, and minimum 6 foot, 6'1". Okay. He's looking at her down with his head bent. And because I'm a study of body language, and this is what's so great about this video, a lot of body language analysts will be studying this video forever. You can go online on YouTube and you'll see some great body language analysts that have been studying body language for years. And I salute them because of the fact that, and if we could all have video camera of every one of our interactions with the opposite sex, we would be astounded at what we did or didn't do. And because I'm a singles pastor and this is a singles, I would call this a relationship issue, the interaction or the communication between genders and then between interracial genders, between male, female, and also most importantly, black male athlete, white male, white female. And I have to make sure black male, famous, wealthy, $1 million football player athlete, not a random scrum, not a random Joe, and known worldwide and still alive, still at his peak. He ain't dead yet. He ain't 70, right? He ain't a has-been. I mean, luckily he has his faculties. He's not like a lot of NFL players. By the time they're 70, they're dead, man. I mean, they've really been walking wounded. He got out, praise the Lord, in time that he still has the ability to walk and talk and had a phenomenal show on the NFL Network. Now, I see him going into a new show called NFL Coach. I'm football coach, and it's going to probably take about 5 years for this to come down. But he can't go back to NFL Network. He's going to be obviously working with University of Miami, working with colleges where he grew up, and he may be copying Deion Sanders and doing what Deion did because Deion laid the blueprint. And I think it's going to be we'll see. Shout out to Miami U. Now we're gonna fast forward, and I'm going to go back and take it to the part where you see the interaction, starting right here at 3 minutes and 46 seconds of his tape. I'm not sure what time it is of mine. Well, I'll put a timestamp later. So here we go. He walks up to her. Boom. That was a mistake right there. He literally got in her personal space. So I'm sorry, bro. I can't lie. Even you as an intelligent, sophisticated black athlete man that have millions of women that will love to give you their vagina, okay? Their mouth, their vagina, every hole, okay, and do things with you without you even have to ask. You don't have to walk into a woman's space. If anything, they walk into your space. And therefore, they can't claim rape when they walk into your space. Or they can't claim that you made me feel, fearful for my life. You made me feel scared. And so, as you saw, what happens is she instantly backs away, puts her hand out. I don't know why he did that first step, but that's against this, bro. There's no way to right that around. Lawyers going to try to find ways to obfuscate and play around with it, but the fact is that video in a court of a law and a court of they tried to file it in Texas, no, Arizona. This was done at an Arizona Marriott, so they're going to file it in Arizona, and they're going to try to fight because there was a Super Bowl, and this was a Super Bowl before the Super Bowl event. So this was a big, big event. Now he's not the young football player. He's an old man now. He's older than me. And this girl obviously is not his age. She is a part of the new generation. But they work. 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds, they work. I don't believe she's over 30, but she could be. She could be. So now, she right there, she backed up again. So that was backup two. The first was backup one, and you can tell it's a fear backup. It's like I'm kind of like not sure, but I'm ready just in case he comes at me. It's that fight or flight response, and that's what someone's going to say in a court. The way she acted, it looks very professional. She could be no offense, she could be a freak in an office outfit that wanted to have sex with him. She could have been. We'll never know the conversation of that. We'll never know. They may pull out text messages if they had. I don't think they had any interaction, so they won't be able to bring texts and stuff that in here. Now the next thing, she bends her head sideways. Notice there's a black guy who is walking around, and this black guy definitely is going to be called in as a witness because he is earshot of everything that's going on. And if he's Michael Irvin's friend, he could be a hostile witness, but he will be called because the weird part about it is he is there looking. And you're going to see him come back around in a second and like almost want to protect the short white girl. So he walks in, boom, there it is. He comes at her again. That's the third attempt. And you can see her response. She goes, whoa, I'm sorry. Women come to you. You're the football player. You're the fan. You're the athlete. If the girl wants you, she's going to come to you. And if we're in our 40s or 50s, we don't go down to 20-year-olds. First off, they could be our kids, and we have to always think that. And yeah, there's some stupid 20-year-olds that want old men, but they're stupid and they don't understand, and you don't mess with them because they're ignorant mentally. Oh yeah, they might be sexually able to do every position that we can do under the sun and more. But mentally, they're after one thing: your power, your clout, your wealth, all of the above. It doesn't fit. And when you look at them as a child, that's key. And that could be your child. That's the thing I want to say to everybody who's 50 over. If you look at them as your child, it instantly changes you from lust to like love. You start to say, man, what if that was my child? And then you want to treat that babe, that girl with the respect, even if she's disrespectfully coming at you for sex. And that's a very difficult thing when you're ignorant and not aware. But that comes with maturity. Recognize your age and recognize that no, I'm not going to take young girls' sex from them and be just another number in their life. I'm not going to allow myself to just destroy a woman because I'm wise. I've got 20, 25, 30 years of knowledge. And I mess with this young 20-something-year-old that doesn't know anything. And I do what brings up a great story, sad, true story. Applies to this. Steve McNair Air Steve McNair from Mississippi, Alcorn, made it to the NFL, had a beautiful black wife, made, I think, three boys, came out of Mississippi, and he gets to go to Tennessee Titans and becomes a great quarterback for Tennessee. Almost wins Super Bowl by 1 inch. By 1 inch, he lost the Super Bowl. And but he was known to make it. He was better than, I would say, Vince Young. For all the black quarterbacks of the last 10 years, Stephen there was probably the best of the black quarterbacks, even Michael Vick. And Michael Vick was around that time in 2001, the same time Steve McNair was. But even Michael Vick, you would never say Michael Vick would take you to the Super Bowl. No. Great athlete, but you would never say he's going to take you to the Super Bowl. No, he never even got to a bowl, you know. So my point is, he decided to pick a young girl who was like 15, or no, really, I think I take that back, 18. She was from Persia, from Iran. She moved here to my old town, hometown, Jacksonville, Florida. How she ran into him was very simple. Fandom. When you're a famous athlete, every woman you can get because they're all your fan. And all you have to do is do what this guy's done. Go and try to touch that girl thinking, oh, she likes me. I'm Michael Irvin. And the girl, in a lot of cases, they accept it. I'm here to say that that day is dead now. I'm here to say for the guys, the way that we were taught growing up, that if you're interested in a girl, you just take their hand. No, man. That argument is wrong. Um, yes, Allen Roger Curry and Mode One might be a true statement, but the bottom line is this: though that woman may have the most beautiful lips, face, hair, eyes, vagina, but yeah, hopefully, as long as it's not all surgery or lipo injected, but real is my point, not this crap that's going on today, which brings up a whole other singles ministry topic for a later day. It's going to cause cancer, and a lot of these people getting these surgeries are going to die, man, in 20 years because of what they did today. Sad to say. But my point is this. She is not at all talking to him from a relationship perspective. Sorry, I'm just going to say that from just that moment. She backs up again and bends. Saw the distance. She made more distance now. That right there, as every man knows, is a point of that's it. We're done. There's nothing else. We're done. And so, with the world today of European women chasing athletes, black athletes specifically, and then those that are lower classes chasing lower class blacks. I'm in the lower class. I'm not an athlete. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a football player all star. And we understand there's different levels of socioeconomic classes or statuses, we call them. We know this is happening. But at this moment, I believe he was intoxicated. A man with normal common sense would be thinking 5,000 times, is she giving me a cue? Is she giving me a cue? Is she giving me any type of cue that says she's interested? I mean, this is all going on in our head. We're looking and we're thinking, but we're also talking to them, but we're also thinking in our mind as we're watching, is this girl talking to me because she wants to come, get on to me, or is she interested in me or not? Okay. Prime example. I have a post that popped up on my page of a white woman who today, I hate to say it, because of the interracial dating, I have a hard time now that I never ever had in my life. And I mean, this is crazy, but this is the truth. Because there's so much first generation interracial children out here today, not fifth generation, ninth generation, 10th generation like we've had back in slavery and Jim Crow. But we're talking right now, people that are black and white getting together, making a child tomorrow. The children are looking like black and white. The girl specifically, the girl, because I'm a male, from her one side, from her side shot, looks like a black child. From the front, looks like a white. And so, because it is a mixture, you're mixing two races, you have to take a double take to look at that girl to find out, is that girl black or white? And it is very important. Why? Because your whole mindset is based on your color of your skin. How you're treated is based on the color of your skin. Where you go and what you do, where you don't go is based on the color of your skin. The treatment you get at where you go is based on the color of your skin, from elementary, middle, junior, high school, college, and beyond. And so if you meet someone at this age and she could be mixed, you look at her, you might treat her like you would think we black men treat black women. What's up, sis? How you doing? What's going on, my sister? These are terms that we supposedly throw out to the black girl. Now remember, there's an enmity between the black girl and the black guy. So the enmity, of course, goes back thousands of years, Deuteronomy 28, and most people don't know. But today, we would call the enmity where black women say you're going after white girls, you're going after Becky's. You would hear the enmity spoken, for example, about a recent Creed, the actor who played Wallace in The Wire, a young little kid who got shot by fellow friends that ended up being, and they all three were drug dealers in Baltimore, Maryland. And the dude snitches, and one of the drug owners or leaders said, "You got to kill this guy." And you know who kills him? The dude's so-called friend, his best friend. His best friend shoots him twice. And the other guy who didn't really like him, but was kind of like a little bit of a hatred going on, he's the one that led the shooting. Because Stringer Bell said, "Take this guy out." This stuff happens in real life every day. That character grew up to be what we consider Rocky franchise, Creed 1, Creed 2, and Creed 3, where he built up big muscles, and he has come a heck of a long way in the black community, especially today when there's such emasculation of black men, and black men are now acting as females, acting as homosexuals, transgendered. I mean, oh my God, it's sick. Study P Valley, that crap that's on TV right now, somewhere in Mississippi, that they don't just talk about the strip clubs. They make it now strip clubs where a guy dressed up in drag like in New York City and then walks in wearing a wig and a beard. A wig and a beard. The devil, you're very powerful. I acknowledge that. But God is more powerful. And so, when you look at this girl, I've seen girls look just like her that date black men. I've seen girls just like her that love black men. I've seen mothers that look just like her that have children with black men. And I'm talking from the educated most with the PhD down to the girl with a high school diploma. Okay. So when you look today in camera land or as a voyeur, you can see it all the time. It's all there. Now, at the same time, from this, we can't hear what's being said. And we'll never, because when you enter any type of restaurant or any store, they don't have the audio. Too much data processing to record audio for 8-hour loop, then re-record again, then re-record. I wish they did. I mean, but it'd be a lot of noise and a lot of background. I mean, it just would be hard. It really is impossible to separate conversations from that distance, the way where the camera is, where they are. You couldn't even hear it unless you have a actual microphone that pointed to them like an espionage and stuff like that. So notice something else that I see real quickly. Number one, there is a white man over here to the left that got his standing and got his hands on his arms. He is definitely in the manager's position. Notice he ain't trying to step up yet. He's watching. And it does look like he was inebriated. Looking at Michael Irvin's bent knees at this spot and looking at how the white male, and this is very powerful. This is revelation. The white man is always watching, dog. You might think you or not you can do and talk and go places. There's always somebody watching you in public, dog. Especially if you're famous. And don't let yourself be drunk and inebriated and be famous and be in public. Oh, you set up, you done. So 2 times she was backing up from him. Now, did she back up from him because she can see the white boss that's standing behind? Michael Irvin doesn't see it. Michael Irvin is looking at her. So could she be high, trying to look good for her boss because she don't want to get fired? And now because the boss is there, maybe she was like trying to hit on him, but now her boss is there, and it's like I gotta lose my job. Remember, she might be making $30,000 a year. He making 30 million. That's a big difference. Okay, there's a big difference there. So now the next part, he walks up to, he does a shadow. Notice what he did. She stepped to the left once. He stepped to the left once. So in essence, it's like he trying to stay in front of her as she moves. But notice the white man is right behind Michael. He's right there. He will be involved in the court proceedings, I promise you. But you're going to see another black guy is going to come around, and he's going to walk around too. So there's going to be lessons. There's going to be two men, a white man and a black man, kind of watching to protect this white girl. All right. Here it comes. Now notice what happens. Now 2 men walk up, one on the left, one on the right. This guy that's at the bottom of the screen just walking past. But the guy that's on the right at the top of the screen was in the inside, and he saw he sees the white man in the waiter's outfit standing there, hasn't moved a bit. I mean, his hands is right there on his hip. He ain't move a second. Now, if there was something that was pleasant and fun, why would he do that? If this was a man who wasn't drunk, who wasn't fearful, there would be no need for that man to do that. And that would give Michael Irvin some credit. But in this case, I'm sorry to say, there's some room. Now, so the people that will be involved in this court proceeding that will be in this case, obviously, the guy that's in the waiter's outfit with the hands on his hips, looking closely, and the guy right here who walked into the area and now walked back out 3 minutes later, but he's been hovering, in essence, I think, wanting to get an autograph. That's what I think he really wants. But now he's not getting an autograph. He's going to walk away. So he turns, he stops, because now he's like, oh, I want to get an autograph. No, look at the height difference. Look how big Michael Irvin is, even to that guy. You can see the height difference, okay? He stops, he turns around, and then she then does a step, which is very weird. She moves in front and steps to the left. Now, if this was just a professional thing, you would see her be like, okay, thank you, sir. No problem, sir. Thank you, Mr. Howie. I mean, it'll be very direct, to the point, no questions. Bottom line, that's how they act. That's how any woman would act. But definitely a woman that's of a different race than you and doesn't want to have any showing of any sexual anything. And there are women out there that they may like black men, but they're not going to show it in public. They'll do it in private. And then there are women out there that do love it and they show it in public and in private. These are called Queen of Spades women. And I'm bringing that argument out. That is an evil, diabolical thing, but it's true. And so if you ever go around clubs, and I don't club anymore. I don't club in years. But women that wear makeup, nail polish, or get a tattoo of an actual ace of spades from the card deck. The symbol of the black ace of spades means a black white woman is willing to have sex with a black man. And in a lot of cases, the women are married women to white husbands with their white husband's consent. They call it a fetish. It is a fetish because African Americans are Hebrew Israelites, and God gifted us with the ability to have a big penis, to have amazing sex, but not us all. You got to take care of your body, of course. But with all that, we've been called, as historians said, we've been called mandingo. We've been called the penis that a woman get, the bull. They call black men bulls. So it's very disrespectful because, unfortunately, the facts is true. And so, in order for the European race to feel proud about this thing that we have, that they don't have, they have to degrade the black man in every way and form. They do the black woman, but the black woman doesn't have the thing that everybody wants. Everybody and their mama don't want the black woman's vagina, but everybody and their mama wants the black penis. That's right. That is right. And that's why we have a lot more European girls having babies with us. And it is worse than it was way back in the 60s. People might say that the loving case of Virginia, Confederate Virginia, East Virginia, Richmond, that this black woman married a white man and will love the white man. And that was the precursor, that was the beginning of what was made legal, which was illegal by whites, but still done. So it was one of the, by whites that were the masters of us, one of the most evil hatred parts of our history. Because those individuals were people that used our women, bred them, but the male was only used for one thing, and that was to make babies or more slaves. The white male didn't need the male. And then the white woman might sometimes go after the black male because her husband's cheating on her. That's why that movie with Sonny Liston. Look up a great movie with Sonny Liston called Mandingo. Let me show you. With Sonny Liston, a boxer. But this is exactly the issues that we have within our race. No, it wasn't Sonny Liston. It was another actor. And so Mandingo, they done many different covers of this movie. Came out in 1975. And this is a different one. I have not seen this one. So we're gonna go back. I have to watch this one. I'm not sure what it's calling on that. That's my other phone. All right, I don't know who's got my number over here. Oh, 404 number. Someone's calling me on this phone from 404. Before I type this in, got a long password, so I got to make sure I type the right password on this second phone. All right. And so I'm going to show you this one. This was Mandingo, and it had with a famous boxer. There it is. There it is. I knew it. All I do is type in the right words. Ken Norton was the name. This is the actual father of Ken Norton Jr., who became a star linebacker for San Francisco 49ers, got a Super Bowl. This was a crazy sad movie, but Ken Norton played this movie. It's called Mandingo. And oh, he's dead. Didn't even know he passed away. He's only 70 years old. All of that, and his life lasted only 70 years. Such a tragedy. But this was the name of the movie. It was called Drum, but it was also Mandingo. Mandingo lit the fuse, drum is the explosion. And what it boiled down to is interracial relationships. See the photo? A white man with a black woman, a black man with a white woman. And that was the story. Now, I have, thank God now, through the advent of, I'll do another video on it, but I can be able to pull up these movies from the old days. Through the technology, I can watch movies from the 20s now. And so to be able to see movies going back to 1920 all the way up to now, 2020, 100 years worth of movies is phenomenal. Because you can see where we've come historically by the movies, even as evil and wrong as they are. So this movie, Drum, you got to see it, and Mandingo, they're actually the title. It's kind of the root of the whole aspect of this case. And is, what should a man do? Because again, a lot of these men are going to drink. A lot of these men are going to have children. A lot of these men are going to be having babies, and believe me, there is a movement of interracial lovemaking going on that's been going on probably the last 15, 20 years. Even when I was in college back in 2004 to 2009, and I was in Oklahoma, there still was a hell of a no-go for interracial relationships. When I went to Rainbow Bible Training Center, the pastor there, Pastor Ken Hagen Sr., he boldly stated, this is in the late 90s, he said to us, I don't believe in interracial relationships. Ken Hagen Jr., not the senior, junior. And it caused a big stir that Reverend Frederick K.C. Price, a phenomenal black minister who built Crenshaw Christian Center back in L.A. in the middle of, Watts, Crenshaw, keyword. Crenshaw was a white area but turned black, and because of lack of wealth and jobs, which a lot of blacks out there don't have, what do you think happened to the neighborhood, right? So we look at the movie Boys in the Hood, you hear Crenshaw, swap meets, you hear violence, Crenshaw. Well, he had built a church out there, and it was a phenomenal church. At its peak, probably had at least 30,000 members. It's dying now. The father has passed on. The son is trying to step up, but other people are going to take over because, like every generation, the children cannot outlive their father's legacy. They got to build a new legacy on their own name, on their mantle, not on their dad's. That's one big lesson we learned. And so the next thing we'll see is she backed away again. Oh, a point. Saw that point? He did a point to her. He did a point. Now, what was that point there for? You saw that point? I did. What was that point? I don't know, but it did not look good. It did not look like that was any type of relationship communication. Now, interesting, notice something I just saw. The black man turned, and he's still there. He got out of the frame because he was trying to get an autograph, it looks like. But he also, by him sitting there trying to get an autograph, he's kind of, in essence, hearing the conversation when I've been thinking about what was going on. The guy that was the waiter who stood there for at least 23 or 25 seconds, I'm not sure how many minutes it was, because I've been pausing it. He kind of moved away back to the rest of the table where he is obviously serving and doing his job. Just keep going. Stops, turns around, and look. Now notice he touches the waiter. He slowly does a 360, and he kind of comes back over in that area again, just to kind of be assistance. Because the way this white woman looked, she having a fucking managerial direct conversation with this black man. Something he did wrong. There's something going on here. I'm just being honest. There's something going on here. I can't explain it, but there's something going on here. I need to figure this out. But there's something definitely. There's something going on here. But there's definitely something going on here. I cannot explain it. But I'm definitely watching and thinking and seeing. Let's go on. Love it being doing this. So now back. Oh, their hand goes up. I paused it. Now notice his hand goes up like, and it's that is like a dad trying to talk to a kid right there. You never put your hand up in front of a woman unless you're trying to chastise that woman. Yeah. Saw that? Yeah, all this will be is being analyzed. Before this came out in public, all the lawyers saw this. They've spent hours on this footage. These steps, that's threatening. That's the problem. He steps again. This ain't a guy and a girl having a conversation. They're not dating. They have no relationship. The way he steps to her, something ain't right. I don't have to, come out and say, but that's it. Okay. Now let's go to the next. Boom. Look how he closed the gap. He should have never done that. He should have never done that. Look at her. Look, did you see her head? She bobbing her head like, yes, I understand. I mean, it's like he's chastising her. Watch. Boom. Hand, stepped again. Head bob. Head bob. Look at her head bob. Did the hand again. Head bob. She touched her chest like, now why would a woman touch her chest? Because they're like they're having a conversation about Bill, but that would be the wrong time to have this conversation. Is this the manager of my account? Is she like the manager of the hotel? Did I do something wrong in my room? She's trying to back away again. See that?